Come maricón. Oh, bro, I got the perfect angle, bro. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
You know you still need to do that. What's up, TikTok? What's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitch? What's poppin'? It's your favorite alien, L-Fro in the house. And back at it again, talking about magic, manifestation, and being a wizard. When it comes to manifestation, you have to look within. The magic is within. Whatever's happening within, that's what you're going to get without. So, when it comes to coming out here on this planet, you gotta do what's best for you, regardless of history, regardless of what you shared, regardless of what you thought, what things were. On this side, it's a different story. On this side, it's a different story, different details, and you gotta be honest with yourself about those details. You gotta be honest with those details. When you're not honest with the details, you're not gonna get the life you want. Because you are constantly sending out vibrations and signals into this ether. You're constantly sending out stuff. And you gotta ask yourself, do you like what you're sending out? When you don't question what you're sending out, you'll just get anything. The magic requires intent. Are you just sending out anything? Are you just sending out any signals? Any prayers? What are you sending out? You are a cell phone tower that's constantly beaming out signals. What about boo? 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 You gotta ask yourself, do you like what you're getting? Because you get the life you don't want because you don't want to check into what you're getting. You get the life you don't want because you don't want to check into what you're sending out. How you feel towards yourself is what you get back in life. And it comes in the forms of people, places, and things. And when it comes to magic, it's seeing it for what it is so that you can get to the life you want. It's all about getting to the life you want. The life you want is already there. But you have to be honest with what you want and be honest with what you're actually sending out. Because there's what you're sending out, and then there's the story you tell yourself of what you think you're sending out. There's what you're sending out and what you think you're sending out. You're confused on how you got to this point because you're telling yourself a story that doesn't line up with the reality you're living. People fight reality when they don't want to own up to what they're sending out. You're choosing to stay in that relationship. You're choosing to stay in amongst those friends, family, associates. You're choosing to stay at a dead end gig. These are all your choices. That's on you. You can complain about it, about the money and all that shit, but at the end of the day, money don't move until you move. Money will not move to where you want it to go until you take the steps in that direction. It doesn't matter. Oh, but the bills and all that. That's just an excuse not to change your perspective on how you're living. People will use the bills as an excuse to stay stagnant in situations they don't want. People will use the bills as an excuse to stay stagnant in situations they don't want, because that's the classic excuse most people use. Oh, well, I got bills to pay, and it's like, okay, but are you living? Well, no, then have fun with that. Because at the end of the day, you're going to stay being charged bills, but opportunities only come once in a lifetime. At the end of the day, bills are always going to be charged to your account, but opportunities come once in a lifetime. Life and manifestation is all about capitalizing on opportunities. You don't put yourself in the room, the magic can't unfold. Yeah, I'm in the bathtub. You have to put yourself in the vicinity of the room. As much as you complain about your JOB and your dead end gig, at the end of the day, you don't want to put yourself in rooms to change that situation. Oh, but I got the bills. Like, that's a bullshit excuse. Because you're choosing to crucify yourself to a life you don't want, knowing damn well it's not going to change. When you choose to stay in a position that's not going to make you any better, that's because you're scared to move differently. Because you believe that the current situation is security, even though you don't like it. Because see, what fear will have you do is fear will have you find security in a lion's den. Fear will have you pose as the sheep while you ask the wolf what's for breakfast. Fear will have you pose as the sheep while you ask the wolf what's for breakfast. That's how you stay in dead end situations. That's how you stop manifestation. At the end of the day, manifestation doesn't happen until you make some moves. And it can't be the same regular moves. That's why you can't get comfortable on a salary. Like, you can't use bills as an excuse. Because at the end of the day, reality doesn't give a fuck about your bills. Reality cares about, are you going to move to it or not? As simple as that. Reality doesn't give a shit how high your bills is. Are you going to move with the magic or not? Money ain't going to move until you move. You're not going to make millions until you make millionaire moves. That's just the reality. You're using bills as an excuse not to challenge your fears. You're using bills as an excuse to not take a risk. And it's not really a risk, because think about it. You're actually taking a risk on destroying yourself by staying in this dead end situation, whether it's a job, a relationship, or a pattern that's long expired. You are killing yourself either way. You're blocking your own manifestation. Because again, what the life you want is already there. The magic is already there. You have to decide, do I want to get in alignment with it or not? Do you want to get in alignment with it or not, regardless of what the pinhead in your mind is saying? Because it's the dumbass in your mind that keeps you in fearful situations you don't want. You stay in situations you don't want because you're scared to look at what you're sending out. Life is constantly asking you, what do you want? What do you want? And you're afraid to ask yourself, what do I want? Because right now you want struggle. When you choose not to move the goalposts on what you want, you by default say, I want struggle. I want a shitty lifestyle that I don't want. Because there's only two choices. And each choice you make in life, as a magician, you have one choice. Follow your magic or follow a life you don't want. because you're either leading a life you want or a life you don't want. There's no in between. You look for in between because you're scared to move the needle on what you need to do. You look for an in between because you're afraid of the bills. And your bills are always going to be there. Again, you're always going to be charged a bill all the time. So don't let that stop you from making moves that you actually want to make. Because again, you're always going to be charged bills. So you might as well make some moves to alleviate them. You will always be charged bills. See how we trick ourselves into staying into dead end situations is we'll be like, my bills are too high, but it's like you're always gonna be charged bills anyway. You might as well make the moves uh, to make real money. Because staying in a situation you don't want while still being charged bills doesn't change anything. And you lie to yourself saying, I'm changing something. No, you're not. You're not changing anything. And you're lying to yourself saying that this situation is going to somehow get better. If I just stay at the same shitty wage, I stay at the same misery incorporated, I stay doing the same shit, I stay blocking manifestation, I stay blocking what the universe has for me. The universe doesn't relate to struggle. Your true self does not relate to struggle. You support a culture of struggle because you grew up that way. Your parents said this is what you should do, and you didn't think twice about it. It's that simple. Again, your inner child wasn't thinking about struggle. You learned from your parents to celebrate struggle, and you said, well, struggle is life. So when it comes time to balling, you're afraid to balling. You are unconsciously afraid to ball. Because to ball in this life, you need to make baller moves. If you want to ball like Kobe in this life, you need to make Kobe moves. Kobe wasn't looking for a fucking job. Kobe's at the gym shooting, ready to sign reality. You have to listen. You gotta approach life that way. Because if you either shooting at the gym to ball, or you stuck at that cubicle miserable as fuck. Kobe wasn't thinking about a job. That's the problem. You are what you think. You are what you believe you're capable of. You got talent, but you don't believe in the talent, you're not going to get your blessings. It's very fucking simple. That's why you're supposed to start this shit young. You're supposed to think about manifestation while you're in high school, not looking for a date to a prom, not looking for your next certification. You want to think about what kind of life do I want to live? What best outcome do I want? And I need to focus on that outcome, period. Don't just accept any schlop, because then you stay stuck in a situation you never wanted. When you in high school, oh shit, hold on. When you in high school, you're supposed to. Hold on, I got an ice cube stuck in my throat. What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, when you're in high school, you're supposed to already think about manifestation, not these bullshit gigs that you think you want but you don't want. Because again, people don't really consider people like most people are scared to ask what their dream life is. Because then you have to approach it from a magical perspective. When it comes to manifesting your dream life, you need to approach it as if you just came fresh out of your dreams. You need to approach it from a different perspective. You have to be unorthodox about it. You have to be weird in your approach. And you have to be okay for people possibly distancing themselves from you or you having to drop people in order to manifest. Because remember, the people around you, in most cases, they're not handling their finances and their life from a wizard mindset, from a magician mindset. They're thinking, if I work hard just enough, I'll get something out of it. And you have to drop those people. There's nothing inspirational about it. And when you're around those kind of people, that kind of delusion rubs off on you. That kind of delusion tends to rub off on you. I don't talk to any fucking 9 to 5s in my personal life. There's nothing to talk about. I want to ball's life, and you talking about struggling, saying yes sir, no ma'am. How is that? That's oil and water. That's not gonna mix. You want to get into the NBA, you should be only talking and associating with other people that are in the NBA. You want to be a singer, you should only be talking and associated with people trying to get into the music industry. You want to be a streamer, you should only be talking and associating with other streamers. Watch the company you keep. You want to be a fucking a niche cat sitting um, sundress sewer, that you need to be surrounded by your niche. Why? Because that's how you network, that's how you stay inspired, and that's how you make sure the conversation stays on what you want. Because remember, when you're conversing with people, you're exchanging spells. You are exchanging frequencies, and it is very easy to lower yourself when you are choosing to have bullshit conversations that lower your frequency. Because conversation can lower your frequency. Because think about it, you're talking about, let's say you're talking about Ball's life, and you're trying to still hold on to a 5 year friendship you've had with a 9 to 5 friend. Now imagine you trying to talk about content creation, networking, trying to put your name out there. And while you're talking about all this stuff, your friend is talking about struggling at a 9 to 5, yes sir, no ma'am, blah blah blah. That conversation doesn't mix. How is the conversation supposed to move? Oh, bro, I'm trying to get a stream rate on Kick or Twitch, yada yada. Wow, that's great, but I'm struggling at my job. This bitch is treating me like trash. Oh damn, that sucks. So what about Twitch? Well, there's no commonalities. Notice there's no commonalities in the conversation. Your 9 to 5 friend cannot relate to streaming on Twitch. So how the fuck do you maintain that connection? Because again, people conversate based on what they have in common. So how the fuck are you supposed to talk about making money moves, business moves? Like, oh, yo, I'm about to, make 100K off clipping or whatever. Oh, that's great. I'm barely making $15 at my job at McDonald's. Like, what kind of conversation is supposed to take place on that? And then while you're talking about this 9 to 5 shit, it's like you're trying to get away from the 9 to 5. Why are you inviting useless conversations about your friend struggling at a 9 to 5? Do you see how that lowers your vibration? You should only be around people that inspire you or are in the career that you're pursuing. Otherwise, there's no reason. Because you will hold on to people just to say, oh, we had a history. It's like, okay, but it's blocking your path. It's blocking what you want. All this is connected. All of this is connected. There's a reason why it's not uncommon where you have to leave a lot of motherfuckers behind, because most people don't want to live their best life. They want to be miserable and fit in and kill themselves trying to fit in to gain approval. You're a good boy. It's lonely at the top for a reason. Most people are not pursuing the top. Listen, as much as there's a lot of content creators on these platforms, most is bullshit. There's no competition in this area. As much as you think there is, no, is it? Most people is casual about it. Most people is pursuing another bum ass job. Stop believing that there isn't space for you, a niche for you, where a crowd of people waiting to support you. There's a crowd of people waiting to support you, but you have to see that in yourself first. You have to see that in yourself first, regardless of what your parents told you, regardless of your friends, regardless of your relationships. That's how you manifest. Again, most people don't want to manifest their best life. Well, why do most people want to manifest their best life? Because that means you have to challenge your fears. That means you have to have courage and believe in what you can bring to the table. Most people don't believe in what they can bring to the table. And that's what's going to set you apart from everyone else. Most people don't believe in what they can bring to the table. You being comfortable to be corny, say what you want in public, that's an advantage. Most people don't have that advantage. Most people are trying to fit in. They're not trying to stand out. Standing out means sitting at your own table when no one else wants to. Standing out means being okay with people mocking at you, laughing at you. So you could get one or two people in the back that are laughing with you. Standing out means being okay with having no one around you, even when you're up top. Because trust, when you off yourself trying to fit in, none of those people will be around when you're struggling, when you're crashing out, not happy. Understand something. The reason why you have this urge to fit in is because you never got rid of that bug in high school. That bug came in high school. Because in high school, you wasn't thinking about manifestation. You was thinking about fitting in. Most people, when they leave high school, is get a job or go to university to get a job. Most people isn't thinking about motherfucking manifestation. You didn't kill that bug in high school. That fit-in bug, you were supposed to kill that shit in high school. You were supposed to get rid of that shit in high school. And now you're bringing it into your 20s and 30s. Pursuing careers you don't want, pursuing lives you don't want, pursuing people you don't want. This trickles into your relationships. Because remember, you didn't have the courage to pursue the career you wanted. What makes you think a relationship is going to help you cope with this? What makes you think a relationship is going to help you feel better that you're that you're pursuing a career you don't want? It translates into your relationships. The career you choose, the way you choose to make your money translates to the friendships you have, translates to the relationships you jump into, and translates to how you relate to yourself. That's why you need to get the bag first. Pursue your millionaire lifestyle first. Because anyone you encounter along the way, they're going to be based on where you met yourself. The people you're going to meet on your dreams, while you're pursuing your dreams, is completely different from people you would have met had you pursued the job. Heart of the cards. That's right, the heart of the cards. You are the deck. You are the deck of cards. You have to make sure that the deck of cards is all the cards you want. Get the bullshit out. The reason why you working with a shitty deck is because you put shit in it. You put shitty cards. It's up to you to decide to cultivate the deck. Handle that business first. When you're trying to manifest and be a wizard, you need to handle your business first. Don't go on dates. Don't seek friendships. Seek handling your business first, because the people you encounter is based on how you handle your business. Period. The people you encounter is always based on how you handle your business. You are not living your dream life, but people around you will reflect that. Stop worrying about approval. Stop worrying about whether you're going to be alone. Like, bitch, no one's going to be there for you when bills are stacking and you have to put that stupid alarm clock on. No one's going to be there for you when you're wondering, why can't I manifest? Trust, this is a tough lesson I had to learn the hard fucking way, where I let bags and opportunities go right past me because I want to fit in. When you're trying to fit in, you attract people that are not your friends. You attract people that talk shit about you, and you attract blockages. The lifestyle you want is already there. It already exists. It's about asking yourself, what am I willing to do to manifest it? Because again, you wasn't born a Nepo baby. Most of us ain't born a Nepo baby. But that doesn't mean that you can't make your own Nepo baby. Just because you wasn't born a Nepo baby doesn't mean you should stay being broke and dusty. Just because your parents agreed to being dusty doesn't mean you should too. And your parents can be dusty with a whole house. Look at how your parents are getting their money. If they're not living their dream life, why the fuck would you follow them? Just because they can pay bills with their job doesn't mean that you should follow them. That's another reason why you're scared to pursue your dreams. Because you want to follow their way. And you're unhappy because you're trying to follow their way. Their way was their way for a reason. That's why it isn't working for you. Stop trying to do shit that worked back in the fucking 80s and 90s. And you're in 2026. Reality. That's another reason why you're not manifesting. Your parents come from a different generation. Why are you trying to use their way and label that as your success? Why are you trying to label their way as your success? You got to ask yourself, how the fuck do I want to get it? How do I want to get the bag? Not the way they got it, how I want it. Period. You're a genie that grants your own wishes. You're constantly sending out vibrations. This is another reason why religion is trash. Your prayers are always being answered. They're always being answered. Where you're confused is, what am I praying to? Your ego is telling you one story that you like to tell yourself, and then there's reality. You need to decipher the story you told yourself and get to, what am I actually sending out? That's why you're confused and wondering, why is my life the way it is? Because you don't want to be honest with what kind of energy you're sending out. What signals am I sending out? How the fuck are you supposed to manifest millions of dollars and you're still stalking your ex? How are you supposed to manifest $1 million and you're still saying yes sir, no ma'am at a shitty job? How are you supposed to manifest millions of dollars when you have low self-esteem? That's the key to magic. You're the equation. You have to look at, what am I inputting? And do I want to get rid of it? Because again, there's a story you tell yourself, and then there's the actual reality. You want to know what bullshit you're telling yourself? Look at reality. Look at reality. Stop trying to fight reality. That's another reason why it's not working. Your feelings is based on reality. Every single time. Your feelings will tell you whether you're on the right path or the wrong path. Look at reality. Stop fighting reality. Most people is miserable because they're fighting reality. And that's a dangerous mindset, because then you'll never find happiness. And also, it shows how dumb and delusional you are. I'm going to fight reality. Like, bitch, without reality, you wouldn't exist. You need reality to exist. Stop fighting it. Stop being stupid. Accept it. You wasn't born a Nepo baby. Now it's time to manifest. You have to accept it. You need to have heart to manifest. You need to have courage to manifest. Manifestation isn't for the cowardly and the weak. It's not for the cowardly and the weak. You're cowardly and weak because you've allowed yourself to get to this point. You got to be honest. Look, you got people telling me, go pick up a job application. Picking up a job application is the easy way out. That's the easy way to fit in with everyone else, fit into the culture, and no one's going to be there for you when you're miserable schlepping on a job, on that stupid alarm clock. That's what I said. You got to follow your dreams. Most people don't have the courage to follow their dreams because of comments like that. Go get a job, go get this, go get that. And these same people that you're listening to will not be there for you when your bills are stacking up. How dumb are you? I've done the same thing, trying to listen to everyone else. And then when the bill came due, no one was there to help me pay for it. No one was there. And I'm listening to people that won't be there for me when the bill cycle's due. Stop listening to these people telling you, get a job, you lazy. Those people will not be there for you when the bill is due. If they're not shooting with you at the gym, why the fuck are you listening to them? That's what blocks. That's one of the top reasons why people can't manifest is, one, you're listening to other motherfuckers, and two, you still want to fit in. These are the top reasons why motherfuckers don't manifest. Stop listening to bitches that's not paying your bills. Because people like to talk, especially on this internet. They like to talk. But you got to remember, they're not going to be there for you when that bill starts talking. So why are you taking advice from the peanut gallery? Why are you listening to them? And the second reason is you want to fit in. So that you don't get flamed by the peanut gallery telling you to go get a job. Oh, you're a lazy piece of shit. And you got to remember, again, these people won't be there for you when that bill cycle comes. People like to talk. You have to remember, humans like to talk. That's why you got to be mindful of the people and the conversations you have. People like to talk. People like to criticize. To keep the heat off them. Stop listening to them. This took me years to accept. I need to stop listening to people. I need to stop fitting in. These motherfuckers won't be there for me when the motherfucking bills due. They won't be there for me when I'm pondering, am I happy with myself? They won't be there. Stop lying to yourself. You take people's opinions into consideration because you want to believe they're with you in the trenches. No, they are not. That bill come due. Where'd they go? Every fucking time, bro. Every time that bill fucking came due, no one was fucking there. Not even my parents, bro. Your parents won't be there when that bill comes. When it comes time to figuring out what's your way, your parents won't be there either, bro. You're not a Nepo baby. They won't be there. That's why you want to fit in and take people's, because you want to believe so badly that you are part of a community. No. That community shit is an illusion. It's trash. All right? If they're not paying your bills, you ain't in no motherfucking community. They not paying your bills. If they are not paying your bills, they are not in a community with you. Community doesn't fucking exist. The only community that exists is you paying my bills or not. The only community that exists is you paying my bills or not. The only people that's riding for you is people that's paying your bills. I done fucking said it. Because that's what determines whether I go to the streets or not. That's what determines whether I have food on my table or not. That's what determines whether I have shelter or not. Is you helping me acquire this shit or not? If not, then sit the fuck down. That community shit, that's not real. There's no such thing as community. Community doesn't exist on Earth. Community does not exist on Earth. That is a stupid delusion and a lie that you tell yourself. If community had existed on Earth, everything would be free by now. If community had existed on Earth, more people would be pursuing their passions and dreams. If community actually existed on Earth, people would be helping each other out on the tangibles. Food, shelter, careers, etc. You're not in communion with no one. If they're not paying a motherfucking bill, you're not in communion with no one. Period. When shit gets real, are they helping with the struggle or not? This shit took me years to accept. You have CASHAPP in your bio, bro. I have CASHAPP in my bio. That's right. It's about business, bro. Earth is about business. Earth has always been about business. If they not supporting your business, they ain't in the community with you. They stop playing, bro. They're not in the community with you. You wasting your time. That's like fitting in and wasting your time. Oh, my community. That community don't exist. Because that means that person has to feel the same way about your well-being as you feel about yours. Community can't exist. Because that means that other person has to feel the same way about your well-being as you feel about yours. And vice versa. That's where this fitting in comes from. That's where this insecurity comes from. This is where your desperation for dates comes from. You're trying to look for a community that doesn't exist. You are the community. You are your own community, period. That's why you get in your business. You get on your business so you can say fuck you to anyone. And when shit gets real, you know you got it under control. You are your first line of defense. You are your first and only line of defense. You wanted to believe this delusion of community. And that's why the community has disappointed you every fucking time. That's why you've trusted the wrong people every fucking time. And that's why you're not manifesting. What are you sending out? Handle your business. You should be following, you should be thinking about manifestation in high school, not debating about it in your 20s and 30s. When you debate about it in your 20s and 30s, that's because you're already living a life you don't want. Again, most people waste their 20s trying to fit in. And it's because they're still living, they're still stuck in high school. Most people are still stuck in high school in their 20s and 30s. That's why the workspace is very petty, it's immature, it's like high school. Because again, most people don't think about uh, who they are post graduation. Like that's not on people's minds. People's minds is okay. I gotta pay these bills, and then that's it. Nothing about me as a person. That's why motherfuckers is petty. That's why people is gossiping and clicking up even at the workplace, just like high school, because no one wants to be there, just like high school. People want to go outside, just like in high school. The same goofy motherfuckers that you saw in high school is the same goofy motherfuckers you see up at the job. They didn't change, they didn't grow. You can't grow as a person, and the only thing you're thinking about is get to the JOB to pay for this bill. You can't grow as a person. What time do you have? That's not what you're thinking about. Of course, you're gonna gossip and be petty. You need something to distract you from the boredom at the shitty JOB. When you repress your own dreams, you're gonna project that onto other people. When you repress your own dreams, you're gonna look for an outlet to express that frustration in the form of gossip, pettiness, immaturity. It's all a cry for help. And all these things are factored into manifestation. Don't repress yourself. Stop repressing yourself. There's not enough money in the world to repress yourself. That's the worst thing you could do. To fit in, you repress yourself to fit in because there's no other reason. There's no other reason to repress your magic unless you're trying to fit in and gain acceptance from other people. Again, you didn't wake up and decide, I'm gonna live a life I don't want. You got all these bullshit ideas from other people, thought it was yours, and then ran with it. That's where all these ideas of living a life you don't want comes from. It came from other people. You thought it was you, and then you ran with it. And ironic enough, the same people you got these ideas from, more likely than not, they hate your ass. It's the truth. Motherfuckers will hate you and smile in your face. Just like high school. Motherfuckers will hate you and smile in your face just like high school. Just like motherfucking high school. Stop trying to be a human psychologist. Stop trying to study it. Humans are petty. They're petty, mean. It's just the way it is. Stop trying to investigate. But why? Why would you want to trust someone that's mean and petty? Look at your own psychology. Focus on your own business. Focus on your own business. That's why you're not getting to your business because you want to butt into other people's business. Stop. There's a reason why gossip is so popular. Because motherfuckers is bored with their lives. So they need to pay attention to someone's life that's actually interesting and live vicariously through that person. Because you got to understand something. When you're not living your best life, you're going to try to live your life vicariously through other people or through other means. You need some kind of outlet for why you're not manifesting. You need an outlet. You're going to seek it. You're going to inevitably seek an outlet to deal with the pain of living a life you don't want. Because to live a life you don't want is painful. To settle is painful. And you need an outlet. You're going to use the dating as an outlet. You're going to use the entertainment, the Netflix as an outlet. Heck, you'll even use fucking crack as an outlet. The pain, you need an outlet somewhere. Pursue your best life. You gotta. When it comes to money and all manifestation and wizardry, magic is psychological. That's the beauty of magic. It all starts with how you look at things. That's where it starts. Because manifestation is simply taking your thoughts and putting it on this canvas you call life. Manifestation is simply taking your thoughts and putting it on this canvas you call life. Do you want to paint it on the canvas or not? Smoking some. Ah. You're the equation. Your thoughts plus beliefs equals your outcome. Your thoughts plus your beliefs equal your outcome. Whatever you're choosing to do, that's what you're identifying with. You're not doing your dreams because you don't identify with your dreams. You're not doing your passions because you don't identify with your passions. Whatever you're doing, you're identifying with. You identify with Dusties, that's because you were Dusty. And claiming, I'm not a Dusty. But look at who you're dating with. Look at who you're hopping in the mattress with. You can't complain about your love life and you don't love yourself enough to pursue your dreams. Activated me like a sleeper agent. That's what's up. You can't complain about, again, you can't complain about your love life and you don't love yourself enough to pursue your dreams. You gotta, again, the people you choose to procreate with and all this shit, that all depends on where you met yourself. That's how you handle your business first. Give yourself the best options first. Give yourself the best options first. Period. I'm telling you, when millions of dollars hit your bank account, your personal, how you look, how you handle shit in your personal life will be completely different than if you struggling at a 9 to 5. How you handle things when you got millions of dollars in your bank account is completely different than how you handle things when you're struggling at a 9 to 5. Completely different. The people you pick is different. How you handle disappointment is different. How you handle pressures, stress is completely fucking different. That's what you got to ask yourself, what kind of life do I want? Life is constantly telling you, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And you have to ask, you have to have the courage to say, I want this. You have to have the courage to say, I want this. That takes courage to acknowledge what you want, to acknowledge it. To acknowledge it. Not just say it, but to acknowledge, this is the life I want. I want millions of dollars. I don't want to do a 9 to 5. I want to get it through this way. Life is constantly asking you what you want. That's what's up, Tiffany Rihanna. Life is constantly asking you what you want, and you got to be honest. I want this. I want this. I'm doing this L-Fro because I said I want a certain lifestyle. I don't want to be just over broke. That's why I'm doing this live. I want something better for myself. I know I deserve better. You have to get to a point where you're like, you know what? Nah, I deserve better. Because I understand something. Motherfuckers, people will treat you based on how you treat yourself. You will put up with shit based on the shit you put up with yourself. Again, you ain't, listen, when you got millions of dollars, you ain't gonna put up with no one shit. Like, bitch, I did not come this far to put up with anyone's shit. Get the fuck out. Versus you on some struggle shit? Life is constantly, what do you want? Every day you wake up, you got a new opportunity. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? because you always gonna be charged on bills. But opportunities, those come and go. That's once in a lifetime. You have to put yourself in the position for the opportunity to come to you. Opportunity can't come to you when you don't put yourself in position. How are you gonna put yourself in position and you stuck at Indeed.com? How are you gonna put yourself in position and you still arguing with Dusties? Love yourself. Love yourself. And get your paper together and live your best life. Again, living your best life requires different mindset, different thinking. And it all starts with how you feel about yourself. Do you believe you deserve $1 million? Do you believe you deserve to be treated a certain way? You got to ask yourself these questions. What do you deserve? I can't do yes sir, no ma'am. I can't do that. That's just, I know I deserve better. So I can't do that. And that's in the face of people telling me, go get a job, go get a, I can't do yes sir, no ma'am. I can't yes sir, no ma'am. Like, I can't do that. You have to get to that. Listen, I look back on it. I look back on the past dusty ass jobs I had and the shit I took to stay there. And I was just like, how the fuck did I put up with that? How did I put up with that bullshit? How did I? That's how Dusty's ended up in my bed. Again, listen, I have a theory. When you're already treating yourself a mess when it comes to your personal finances, it translates to your personal life. When I started saying, no, I deserve L-Fro, I deserve my dreams, I deserve millions of dollars, I started putting up with way less shit from people. I started cutting motherfuckers off. I cut off family. I said, fuck this shit. I'm fine by myself. I'm not gonna keep doing this fucking back and forth shit. Versus when I was on the 9 to 5 and I was begging on I'm begging on dates, begging friends that weren't my friends, begging family, because I'm begging, because I'm begging from a place that doesn't serve me. I'm begging towards entities, because people are entities. People are entities at the end of the day, and you are begging demonic forces. When you don't listen, when you repress your dreams, you end up begging demonic forces. You end up begging in all areas of life, and that begging just leads to more dusties, more poverty. Because why would life reward you for not loving yourself enough to chase what you want? Why would life reward you? Because that's how life works. That's how life works. Why you wondering, when am I gonna get my husband? Life don't work that way. Life sends you how you feel towards yourself. You begging for a husband, you gonna get a husband, but it's not gonna turn out the way you thought it would. Motherfuckers is disappointing with their dating life because they're trying to work outside of the equation. Life gives you what you want. You're not real with what you want, you won't get some fake shit. You trying to work around the equation. It doesn't work that way. Listen, unless you become a Mackenzie Bezos or wife to a billionaire, which is very fucking rare, life is going to give you who you are, how you feel towards yourself. You're not marrying no motherfucking billionaire that you don't need to be begging shit. You don't need to be taking shit from no one. Listen, if you ain't marrying no fucking billionaire, you don't need to be taking shit. Shit. Again, you ain't marrying no billionaire. They ain't helping you elevate. You don't need to be taking shit from no one. That's why I say there's no such thing as community. You ain't helping me in my struggle and elevate. Then what the fuck is you doing here? I got my own things to deal with. A lot of us is trying to deal with motherfuckers shit for free because we don't want to deal with our own shit. Listen, you will literally distract yourself with someone else's story to avoid your own story. That's how you got your ex. That's how you got your fake besties. That's why you got toxic family members in your life, because you're using these people to avoid your own story. Magic doesn't work that way. Magic wants you to cut all the fat, cut all the lard, cut all of that out. Cut it out. Magic is a simple equation. Your thoughts, your beliefs equals your reality. What are you thinking? What are you believing about yourself? Do you believe in yourself? You need to believe. Listen, to manifest millions of dollars, you have to believe in yourself. That's mandatory. Because you can get a job. Again, anyone can get a fucking job. You just, Indeed, click the enter and it's done. But to believe in yourself, to get a bigger bag, you have to be beyond the norm. Again, anyone could click on a job application and hit enter. Anyone can do that shit. That's mindless. There's nothing hardworking about filling out a job application. Click. But for millions, you need to think outside the box. You need to push yourself on how you believe in yourself. That's what separates the bosses from the normies. You trying to be a boss. Stop trying to be a normie. You got to have the courage. To be a boss is to have courage. Oh, boss. It takes courage to be a boss. It takes courage to be a boss. It takes loving yourself to be a boss. It takes self-esteem to be a boss. SYBAU. Hey, put the comments on the chat. Oh, do you want to be a boss? Hey, you can say SYBAU all you want to, but I'm still here in my comment section. You in my comment section, not the other way around. So I ain't mad at you. Again, all press is good press. Don't be confused. If you're pursuing content creation, don't be confused by the trolls, the people making comments. That's what you want. All press is good press. All press is good press. Don't focus on the message of the comments. Focus on what's manifesting. All press is good press. Period. And you have to remember, you live in a world where most people are scared to pursue their dreams. So when you choose to come out here and pursue your dreams, get ready for the smoke. Get ready for the smoke. Because you unconsciously, when people witness someone living the life they want, they respond in one or two ways. They either want to live vicariously through you as a fan or hate you. It's only one or two ways. The third way is they keep it moving and don't say shit. But that's not how they respond. It's they either become a fan and want to live vicariously through you, or say SYBAU. What's his name? Lillifred. Lillifred, you want to be a pharaoh? Like, stop playing. You want to be a pharaoh. You have to remember too. The people that curse you out, they'll tell you, "I don't want to be you," but you're in my chat box at 2:30 in the morning. Come on, you in my chat box at 2:30 in the morning. You got to understand something. Humans always posture. Humans don't want to get called out on their own shit. That's what humans do. You have to accept it. It's a psychology thing. That's why you could be a therapist and still be depressed. There's plenty of therapists out here that don't know what the fuck they're doing, that are not happy, and they got the certifications to advise another person. That's why I said you gotta take your own opinion. You gotta be deluded about your own dreams. You got to be the Lulu about what it is that you deserve. Because life is always telling you, what do you want? What do you think you deserve? You think you deserve shit? We'll give you shit. Life is always answering prayers. See, life is always answering your prayers. You think life isn't answering your prayers because you're living a life you don't want. And that's where this is where accountability comes in. You have to ask yourself, did life put you in that situation, or did you put yourself in that situation? You can't control the parents you're born to, but you can control what happens after you come out of your mama's vajayjay. After you come out of your mama's vajayjay, that's on you. That's on you. Because remember, just because your parents made dusty and crusty decisions does not mean you have to follow. Just because your parents made dusty and crusty decisions does not mean you have to follow. This is my cup. Put that cup down. My cup, bro. Some lemonade today. What's up with some lemonade? Yeah, just because your parents made some dusty, crusty decisions doesn't mean you gotta follow them. Because remember, your parents, as a child, we unconsciously see our parents as the first trusted sources of information. And when you become a teenager going into adulthood, you have to make sure that you get rid of that person. Because that person will fuck you up. Your parents are flawed beings. Your parents aren't perfect, and your parents' journey is not going to be your journey. As a child, you will naturally see your parents as the first trusted sources of information. You have to be able to stop seeing them that way. Are you the guy that made the ABC song? Yes, I am. Like my stuff, share my music, stream multiple choice. ABC, ABC. I'm the guy that made the ABC song. Yes, I am. Manifestation, bro. ABC. It rhymes. Life rhymes. When it comes to manifestation, things start rhyming. When it's not manifesting, it's because it's not rhyming. You know how a song, it rhymes, it continuously flows? That's life. You have to connect the rhymes, connect the dots. It has to rhyme. There's a rhythm to it. That's when shit starts manifesting. You're at the right place, right time. It's all about putting yourself in position. Because you have the fortitude to put yourself in position. All I have to do is put myself in position. All I have to do is show up. That's it. Listen, once you get rid of the bullshit, it is so easy to show up. Once you get rid of the bullshit, it is very easy to show up for yourself. It is very easy to show up for goals that you thought was impossible to achieve. It is very easy to ball when you got rid of the demon that wants you to be poor and broke. Yeah, poverty and all that, that's a mindset. Poverty and all that, that's a demonic entity wanting to take you out. There's a reason why the culture worships struggle. Because that's the cult. That's the demons. You can't join the cult. It's in the culture to worship struggle as a badge of honor. That's why you got people in the comments, that's why you got trolls in the comment sections telling me I need to go struggle at a JOB. Bitch, I did that already. Listen, when you've really looked at your job history, you're gonna start realizing I did this already. I don't need to continue doing this. I don't need to go back to another JOB. I know it's just gonna be more struggle. That's another way life tests you. Do you learn the lesson? You knew that JOB was leading to nothing but struggle. You knew it was a dead-end gig. Why aren't you listening to life and changing it up? That's why I don't do job applications, because I know it's just going to be a continuation of struggle. It's not going to take me to where I want to go. That's how you break the cycle. When you realize this isn't going to take me to where I need to go, I'm not going to partake in this. There's no reason for me to do that. So I can go struggle? No, sir. Yes, sir. I did that already. I did it already. That's the beauty of life. You could do some shit and realize it wasn't what I thought it was. So it's time to cut it off. I've done that already. Job interviews, shitty bosses, shitty coworkers, the boss taking shit out of my paycheck. I did that shit already. I did that shit already. I don't. Why would I want to repeat that? So I go back on struggle to impress people that won't be there for me when I'm in struggle. Like, get the fuck up out of here, bro. You acting like we ain't see your meat in your video. Hey, I don't care. I'll show my booty on the internet too. If I could, I would. Damn, I would. Shoot, I would start an OnlyFans. I'll consider if I get famous enough. When I get famous enough, I'll start an OnlyFans. Right now, I'm trying to lose some weight. I gotta first stop smoking Zom and getting all the munchies. I'll tell you, when I get famous, I'm gonna start an OnlyFans. I don't give a shit about showing my body parts. I work for Kim K. Showing your body parts and work for Kim K. When I get famous, I'll start an OnlyFans. I'll start an OnlyFans. Real talk. First, I gotta deal with this, bruh. I gotta deal with my diet problem. You should. You need a tag team partner, bro. Prince of manifestation, bro. I might need a tag team partner, bro. I might need a tag team partner for OnlyFans. I'm dead ass now. I'm gonna start an OnlyFans because I thought about starting an OnlyFans. I need to fucking. I gotta stop fucking eating though. Real talk, no, real talk. Cause my problem. This is a sidebar, but like my problem with weight loss is that like I can go a few days without eating, but like I be smoking Zog, getting the munchies. And I be knowing too that it's not gonna do anything for me. Like I know, I be like, oh shit, I'm starting to get skinny, and then I say fuck it. I say fuck it, but that's my fault with my mindset. Like no, because I gotta lose this weight, bro. No, when I start on OnlyFans, I'm gonna lose this weight. I gotta get off this food for real. Like it's not cute. It's not cute. I like food. I like food. Like when I eat, I'll get on the munchies and then I'll just scarf shit down instead of just sticking to water. I gotta work on that. I'm gonna stick to water. Anytime I get munchies, just stick to water. Like that ass no, start an OnlyFans. I'm telling you, you want us to there's nothing I don't give a shit. I'll show a body part. Last time I was on Twitter, there was a picture of me with my ass out. I was just butt naked. I had gotten drunk the previous night, and I was butt naked with my ass out. This was on my old Twitter. This was on Twitter. I mean, I don't have that Twitter profile anymore, but if that picture is still around, shit. Should I? Yeah, start an OnlyFans. There's nothing. Listen, naked sells. Being naked sells. You want people to talk. Show your body parts. What's embarrassing about it? What's embarrassing about showing, your PP, your JJ to the public? What's embarrassing? I've thought about this too. Like, what's so embarrassing about it? Like, it's a PP, it's a JJ. Like, we've all seen PPs and JJs before. Like, we're still acting shocked by seeing one on the internet in 2026. Like, isn't that crazy that we still act shocked? Oh my god, it's a PB, it's a JJ. Oh my god, I've never seen one before. Like, we've all seen one. Right? It's just an anatomy. Like, listen, I get famous. No, when I get famous, I'm gonna stop saying it. When I get famous, I'm starting that OnlyFans. I'm gonna start an OnlyFans, bro. I'm gonna get in shape for that OnlyFans. Once and for all. I'm gonna do that. Fuck it. I'm gonna start on y'all giving me ideas. I don't give a shit. Y'all giving me ideas. I'm gonna start that OnlyFans, bro. Shit, put some coin on the books real quick. Shit. What's today's date? August 26th, 27th. August 26th. That's it. I'm starting it now. August 26th. All right, August 26th. That's it. Uh, no food for a month. Cause I'm trying to get off this food shit, bro. Cause look. I like to smoke, but this munchie shit is it's getting out of control. I can't even hold y'all on that. This munchie shit is getting out of control. Like I wasn't even supposed to eat today, and my stupid ass just said fuck it. Like that's it. Start that OnlyFans, get that coin. Do you know that's disgusting? Shit be speaking to me. Also, shit is always speaking to you. See, this is another part of wizardry that I recently discovered. Higher realms are always speaking through you. They're speaking through your thoughts, through your feelings, through your dreams. And you have to be privy to it. It's constantly speaking to you. What do you think your intuition is? What do you think your gut feeling is? That's higher realms telling you what you should and shouldn't be doing. When you get intuition that some shit about to go down, listen to it. That's your sixth sense. Because you got the five senses, but then you have your sixth sense. Your sixth sense is your vibration. Your sixth sense overrides your five senses because your five senses are all your five senses are limited to your nervous system. Your sixth sense is connected to the higher realms. Your sixth sense is what guides you to your best life. Your sixth sense is what gives you the insight needed to go for what you want. Your sixth sense will tell you why you're making certain choices. Because your five senses are all based on your nervous system, on the connection to your nervous system. Sight, hearing, what is it? Smelling, tasting, and touch. That's all connected to your nervous system. When it comes to insight, foresight, happiness, manifestation, existence, all of that is coming from your sixth sense. You can't contemplate existence with sight. You can't contemplate existence with touch. You can't contemplate existence with smell. You can't contemplate existence with hearing. You can't contemplate existence with taste. This is all physical stuff. Physical stuff. When it comes to your existential needs, your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, all this is coming from the sixth sense. Living your best life, all of that comes from the sixth sense. That's why when you overeat, you oversex, you fall for stuff based on face value, based on what you see and what you heard from someone. That's because you're not relying on your sixth sense. You're relying on the physical senses to deal with the stress in your sixth sense. When you run to your five senses to cope with your emotions, that's because your emotions are out of whack. That's because your chakras are not they're not in alignment. Your chakras are the centers of who you are as a person, your existence. Stress, anxiety, that's because you're not in alignment. Your chakras are all off. And to balance out your chakras, you need to ask yourself, what do you want? To balance out your chakras, you need to ask yourself, what do you deserve? Because again, who you are as a person, your existential, that is all based on your energy. Honoring yourself, pursuing what you want, that's all based on your energy. Are you aligning your energy? Are you aligned with your chakras? Listen, when you see people working with the rocks, the chakra rocks and all this shit, that's just displays. That's just displays. When it comes to working with your energies, you don't need rocks or none of that shit. Ask yourself some real life questions. What do I want? And am I happy with what I'm getting? What do you want? And am I happy with what I'm getting out right now? It's two simple questions. You don't need a therapist. You don't need super saiyan powers. You don't need none of that shit. Literally two simple questions. You wanna figure out why you feel off in your vibration. What do I want? And do I am I getting what I want right now? What do I want? Am I getting what I want right now? If you're getting what you want, then great. If you're not getting what you want, then the next step is asking, why am I not getting what I want? And to answer that why, you need to look at your life and be honest with it. Do I like the life I'm living? Your chakras will not balance out until you have an honest conversation about that. And you may shed a few tears, you may have to drop a few people, you may have to move to another space. Again, when it comes to dealing with why you're not getting what you want, you have to make significant changes because your chakras is demanding you to make these changes. When you're off in your vibration, that's because the life you're living isn't in alignment with who you are. You're already gifted. When you come to this planet, you're already gifted with your best life. You're already gifted with that. You have to see it. And to see that, that means you have to see it and acknowledge it in here. When you don't love yourself, that's because you're not acknowledging your needs in here. So when people look for their needs to be met in a relationship, that's because they are confusing the relationship with themselves with relating to another person. The same way you conduct a relationship with another person is the same way you conduct a relationship with your chakras, with your energy, with yourself. All those questions about, oh, I need my needs met, I want to be acknowledged, I want to feel picked. That's your energy telling you to pick yourself. Stay with me on this. This is another theory of mine. Because people don't have the manual on how to align themselves, they unconsciously seek this alignment in other people. Because look at how people talk about relationships. I want to feel seen. I want to be heard. I want my needs met. I want unconditional love. That's actually what you're demanding from yourself. And because of the culture, you think that I need to get it from another person. Go. That's why I say go on dates with yourself. You need to date yourself. You want to live your best life. Go on dates with yourself and be honest. Am I vibing with myself? Am I feeling it? You want to know how your life? Go on dates with yourself. When I took dates with myself, I realized, damn, I got to do work because I'm not feeling myself. I can feel the energy. I took myself on a lot of dates, and I was like, I'm not feeling my energy. I feel off. I can feel the gook in my chakras. Um, I can feel the insecurities, the hatred from past situations that I was involved in, all that stuff. Because when you get involved with people, you have to remember when you have sex with people, you invite their energy into yours, and depending on what you was doing, that shit could stick with you for some time period. I remember my past situations were sticking to me when I was alone. Like I could hear the hatred, I could hear the vitriol, I could hear the juju, the hex, and I said never again. Because I invited demons into my home. Remember, your chakras are your home. If your core, listen, when you buy a house or an apartment, that's not your home. As a person, your home is always your chakras. You have to remember your chakras are your home. This physical shit is temporary. Your chakras are your homes. Your existential issues are all because your home needs acknowledgement. Your energy wants you to acknowledge it. I want to be seen. I want to be heard. Your energy wants to be seen and heard. When you're begging someone else, like your boyfriend or girlfriend, why don't you see me? Why don't you hear me? Why don't you fulfill my needs? That's because your chakras are asking you to do this. But because you're externalizing your chakras, you're putting this job description onto your boyfriend. You're putting this job description onto your girlfriend. and you're disappointing yourself because that's not their job. That's not their job. And actually, uh, you actually have resentment towards yourself for going to them for what you should be doing for yourself. That's why you need to handle your business first before you choose to intermingle with other people. It's very important you do that because the people you meet will always be based on the journey you're walking. The people, this is spiritual science. The people you meet on earth will always be based on where you are at with yourself every single time. That's why love is not enough for a relationship. Your chakras don't operate based on love, they operate based on alignment. That's why love isn't enough for relationships. That's why someone can treat you right, say all the right things, and you're still not feeling it. Because your chakras work differently. Your chakras don't work with this earth shit. Your chakras work based on, is it in alignment or not? Not culture, not what your parents said, not what your hormones said, with your energy. And where you're confused is you are trying to work with your energy and your physical being at the same time. And what you're not understanding is your existential issues have to do with your energy, not your physical being. Because you are not your physical being, you are the energy. This physical body is just a tool, a temporary tool. Again, it's a spiritual science, it's a temporary tool. You identify with this body, you will never get to why your energy is off. You will never understand yourself as long as you limit your identity to your body. Because when you limit your identity to your body, you completely ignore your energy, you completely ignore your chakras. And that's where most people come from. Most people identify with their body and ignore their chakras and then can't understand why their vibe is off, why they're not happy, why they're not depressed. Because you have to look at all things. When your chakras is in alignment, your body will follow. But the trick is when this body dies, your energy will still exist. Talking to the void. You create a void when you ignore your energy. Your energy is what guides your emotions. Your energy is what guides your heart, your soul, your decisions. Go to your energy. You ever confuse some shit? Go to your energy. Whenever I was confused about shit, I went to my energy. Every single time. And that's how everyone fell to the wayside. My energy told me cut off family. My energy told me cut off friends. My energy told me be by myself, be comfortable by yourself. My energy was telling me that I was on the wrong path. And now look at where I'm at. I'm doing L-Fro. I'm doing something that I love. And I have no fears about what's going to happen. And this is in the midst of bills barely being paid. I'm not where I'm at, but I'm on the way. And that's the best part. Because remember, everyone, listen, you're always going to start at a place where you're not where you're at. Everyone is going to start at zero. Unless you're a Nepo baby, everyone's going to start at zero. Don't be afraid to start at zero. Be afraid to never start at all. Don't be afraid to start at zero. Be afraid to never start at all. This is something I've always kept with me. Never be afraid to start at zero. Be afraid never starting at all. Because that's how you stay in struggle and dustiness, because you didn't start the cleanup at all. Start the cleanup and let the rest sort itself out. Because that's how life works. You start at zero and let the rest sort itself out. That's literally how change works. Let the rest sort itself out, regardless of what's going on. If you got to miss a bill, miss a bill. YOLO. You only live once. Let life sort the rest out. Because that's how a journey works. That's how manifestation works. You put yourself in the vicinity and then let the rest come. This Pharaoh costume didn't come on the first night. This Yukimoto chain didn't come on the first day. This is stuff that I had to wing along the way. Ideas I had to wing along the way, even when shit was hitting the fan. Even when I was in the mental hospital. Even when my view count is at zero followers. Everyone starts off on zero. Unless you're a Nepo baby, everyone starts at zero. Don't let starting off at zero stop you from starting at all. Because that's when nothing manifests. That's where failure starts, when nothing is starting. That's how you stay stuck and trapped in stagnant situations, because you didn't start. You need to start somewhere. That's how life takes the seed and grows it into a tree that you couldn't imagine. Because you're never gonna predict how it goes. That's your ego wanting to control shit and be insecure. You don't know how it's gonna go. You just know that it's gonna lead somewhere. I didn't know that when I first got into jobs and shit, I didn't know I would be at this place with myself where I would say, fuck that shit, I deserve better. You couldn't tell me that. But shit, look, you couldn't tell me that I would experience pettiness, bosses stealing from my paycheck, um, people power tripping. I didn't know that was gonna go on in the workspace. That's what life is about. When the unexpected happens, you say, well, fuck it. It is what it is. It was those things, those experiences that taught me I don't want to experience that for 40 plus years. I got to do something else. It's those experiences that taught me don't go back to what didn't serve me. That's how you grow. When you finally said, I've had enough, this isn't serving me. You have to get to a point where I've had enough. When you're not at that point yet, that's because you still want to eat shit. When you haven't gotten to a point where you said, okay, enough's enough, I'm out, bitch. I'm out, bitch. You still want to eat shit. Okay? It took me till last year to finally say, I'm done eating shit. Because again, listen, when you're so used to limiting yourself, eating shit starts to taste like fucking honeydew. Shit starts tasting like honeydew. You start having Stockholm syndrome with demons. Dead ass. When you get so used to treating yourself like dirt, eventually dust looks like gold to you. You ever been, look, listen, self-esteem is a form of drinking. Low self-esteem is a form of getting drunk. You may not realize it, but it's so true. Low self-esteem will put you in rooms that you're not supposed to be in. Low self-esteem will put you around people you would never be around had you been 100 with yourself. Watch out for low self-esteem. Low self-esteem is a demon, because that demon requires you to say, I can't do it. One man bro, it's not gonna work. It requires you saying that so it can stay in your house until you go back to this shitty situation. Go back to this shitty situation. Go back to dust. Go back to Jubala Baba. It's a hex. I ain't going back to shit, ho. Leave that to your haters. Let your haters stay on that side of town. Don't go to that side of town. Don't go to that side of town. Go where you are appreciated. Go where you are appreciated. If you're not appreciated, you don't need to be there. Again, there's people waiting to support your vision and pay you millions of dollars for that vision. I'll tell you this: people will support you in your niche. They're not a job. I'm gonna say it again: people will support you in your niche more than they'll ever support you at a fucking job. You got fans waiting for you. You don't even know it. Your coworker hates your ass, hates your guts. But those two strangers on the internet that's clicking on your stuff every day, they fucks with you. Shouldn't you think about that? I'll tell you, strangers on the internet are waiting. There are strangers on the internet right now waiting to support you. While your mama, your babe, is saying that you suck and you'll never be famous. Strangers are waiting to fucking support you, bro. This world got 9 billion people out here. You can easily manifest at least 1 million that will rock with you. You got 9 billion people on this planet. You can easily manifest 1 million people to support your vision. All you need is 1 million people. You got 1 million people. You will never have to show up to a JOB again. 1 million people. There's 9 billion. Do the math. It's an equation. There's 9 billion people on this planet. You telling me you can't find 1 million people to support your vision? With all the forms of entertainment out here, you can find 1 million people to support your vision. Easily. Illuminati confirmed. That's right. Illuminati. The Illuminati is always looking for talented people. You try to go for that Illuminati contract, I'm going to tell you something. The Illuminati is always looking on these websites, always stalking for new talent. Where do you think the talent is coming from? Where do you think these new streamers is coming out every day? They're coming from this internet. They're starting from regular people like me and you. Unless they're Nepo babies, they're starting off from people like me and you. Especially with this internet shit. Where do you think they're getting the fucking talent? If it's not a Nepo baby industry plant, it's someone from this fucking internet talking on a camera. You are the Illuminati. You are the Illuminati. Magic. You are the seer. You're the witness. You are the seer. You are the witness. You are the witness to your own greatness. But you have to decide to let it reveal itself. You are the witness to your own greatness. You have to decide to let it unveil itself. When it comes to getting off the JOB, getting off people's dicks, and riding your own lane, you start to witness your own greatness. You experience your own greatness. Repression happens, depression happens when you're not experiencing your own greatness. Stagnation happens when you are not experiencing your own greatness. You can't experience your own greatness and you're still stuck on relationships. You can't experience your own greatness. You're still stuck on dusties. You can't experience your own greatness and you're still saying yes sir, no ma'am. There's no greatness in that. You're designed to be great. That's your natural function. The reason why you're constantly thinking about growth, constantly thinking about connecting, what are my needs met, is because you're meant to grow into being great. That's the next step. You can't be great at a job. You can't be great on just over broke. That's how you're hardwired. It's a spiritual science. Humans are energetic beings that are designed for greatness. Depression, repression, and struggle happens when you deny yourself the chance to witness your own greatness, regardless of a bill collection. Your greatness doesn't run on the bill cycles. It doesn't work that way. Part of peak of delusional. You got to be delusional about yourself. You got to be delusional about yourself. You got to be delusional about, it's a science. You got to be delusional about yourself. It's a science. Think about it. You were born to be great, and you choose to deny yourself that greatness. Of course, you're going to be depressed. Of course, you're going to be stressed. Of course, you're going to be unfulfilled. Of course, you're not going to have any purpose. You're meant to be great. It's up to you to sign on the dotted line. The Illuminati is always looking for the next person that wants to show off their greatness. Being a superstar, being on TV, all these things is simply a person that said, fuck it, I want to show my greatness, regardless of a bill cycle. That's the key part, is the regardless of a bill cycle. Are you gonna let a bill stop you from being great? He's giving advice laying on a bathroom floor, by the way. Hell yeah. Why don't you manifest more money? The reason why my manifestation has been stalled is because I chose to focus on the wrong things. I said this on my other lives. My career is at where it's at because I chose to take a hiatus, and I chose to seek love from other people versus loving myself. I'm gonna keep it real. That's why I went on a hiatus because I couldn't deal with my personal life. I couldn't deal with the fact that I'm scared to be alone, that I'm insecure, uh, that I have limited thinking, um, all these things that stop me from being great. That's been my experience. I know I should be farther along in my career. I chose to not align my personal life because alignment means all areas of your life. When you're not aligned in all areas of your life, shit can't manifest. I was seeking love from other people. I still didn't want to get rid of the history that was blocking me. I didn't want to focus on what mattered the most to me. I thought I needed someone else in my life. I still believed the stories I told myself and what I'm capable of. And it blocked me from getting to what I need to get to. Simple as that. It's a magic science. You can't get around alignment. That's another reason why I wasn't manifesting. I wanted to get around the equation. You can't get around the equation of alignment. You can't get around the equation of alignment. When you try to get around that equation, you don't manifest. And it's because you want to hold on to bullshit that blocks the equation. I wanted to hold on to bullshit that wasn't working. Could me dropping out of high school be the reason I'm not great yet? No, not at all. High school is simply certification for a job. High school is certification. It's not high school isn't a guarantee of making money. How you make money depends on what field you're entering in. So you could drop out of high school and still be a millionaire. What do you do every day to work on your inner work? I ask myself questions, uncomfortable questions. Inner work starts with asking questions. You have to ask yourself questions. Why do I do this? Why do I do that? Inner work is literally endless questions, endless uncomfortable questions. Why do I do this? Why do I do that? Why do I feel about this? Why do I do why? And then you get your answer. You know why you do what you do. You just don't want to deal with it. I honestly feel you, bro. Holding on to someone you don't need is insanely exhausting. That's what killed my career. I was holding on to I was holding on to a motherfucker that didn't even want me. And I was holding on to them because I didn't want to be honest on how I see myself. Your inner world reflects your outer, as above, so below. Definitely. So yeah, that's how you work yourself. You work on yourself by asking yourself questions. Why do I do this? Why do I do that? Am I happy? If I'm not happy, then what's blocking it? What am I holding on to? My situation was I was holding on to the wrong people. I was holding on to the wrong person, the wrong people. So I wasn't focused on my work, and I didn't want to face how I look at myself, which is insecure, uh, stuck in the past, hopeless romantic. You a hopeless romantic? Kill that shit. Being a hopeless romantic is just a buzzword for insecure. Insecure. If you a hopeless romantic, kill that shit. That's a buzzword for insecure. Period. That's what get your business. I wasn't handling my business first because I look back on it. I look back on it in the situationship that I was in. I was in it because I was angry that I wasn't living up to my potential.
I was involved in the situation because I was stuck at a job. I met the person on the job. Like, that's the irony. Look, how you meet them is how you lose them. I was in the city when I got into the situation. It was because I was miserable at a job, and I didn't want to deal with that. And I thought that by running to this person, it would somehow make things better, and it actually made things worse for me. It actually made things. I'm speaking from the. I'm speaking. I feel I have my personal point of views because of uh, what life was telling me and how shit culminated. I was in my situation shit because uh, I didn't love myself and I hated that I was going to a job. If I had removed the job earlier, I would have never entered the situation ship. Even your dating habits. My dating habits was because I was going to a stupid job. I knew I wouldn't go into dating if I was doing this earlier. I don't go on dates anymore. I don't do that no more. I don't go pussy hunting, ass hunting. I don't do none of that shit no more. I have important things to do. I have a lifestyle I want to live. And it can't happen if I'm chasing people. It can't happen if I'm inviting toxic energies. So what's with the Egyptian persona? What's your intention behind it? Um, my sixth sense told me to wear it. There's many reasons. I wear this. Yeah, I wear this Egyptian persona because this is what I wear at the house normally. And when I was doing Instagram, people on Instagram were liking it. I said, let me try it because I was experimenting with different looks. And Instagram, if y'all follow me on Instagram, Instagram was liking it. So I said, let me try to take it to Twitch and TikTok and see what's up. Because I wear this is what I wear normally at home. But when it came time to doing this on camera, I wasn't sure about doing it. So yeah, this was an idea. Instagram liked it, and again, this is what I wear. This before I was doing this, before I did the pharaoh costume on the internet, I was already wearing this garb. Like when I'm home, I wear this. I wanna. It helps me not be normal. Like when I come home, I want to feel like like I'm in another world. When I come home, I want to feel like a child. So my routine was I would come home and I would switch to this. I wouldn't wear civilian clothes. Like outside, I would wear civilian clothes, but when I would come home, because I've been wearing this costume since like 2022, I would come home and I would wear this, and this would help me like just get into another zone. This costume also helped me come to some realizations at the time when I first started doing this routine, because I was still asleep. I was still bullshitting when I first started wearing this costume at home. But now I don't do that shit no more. So when I wear this costume, I feel like a kid. I feel like I'm not part of the world. I feel like a king. All these things to make me feel like I'm in another place. I want to feel like I'm in another place. I want to feel like I'm in another world. I don't want to feel like I'm on this planet. This planet is chaotic. Um, just I need something that takes me out of this planet. When I come home, I need to feel something that takes me out of this planet. I don't want to hear the news. I don't listen to the news. All that negative shit. Like I put this robe on. All that shit is gone. It's gone. I'm king of my domain, and whatever I say goes. Period. Period. I don't feel power when I put on civilian clothes. I don't feel powerful. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When I put on civilian clothes, I don't feel powerful. That's why I put this. That's why when I started doing this, I said I feel powerful. I'm gonna do this shit on. When I fall asleep, put this on. Your house is your sanctuary. That's why it's so important. That's why you don't move in with just anybody. Your house is your sanctuary. Because when you come into the world, you take that shit back with you. And you need to make sure when you come into your house, all that shit from the world stays outside in the world. Because it's so easy to take the world's bullshit into your house and then wonder why you can't get no relief in your own house. Leave that shit in the world. Because the world is gonna be the world. The world gonna be the world. I don't want that up in here. That's why stuff looks the way it is. What the fuck? I used to see you on Insta all the time. Exactly. That's why you gotta tap into your higher self and respect. I didn't respect myself. So yeah, exactly. You see me on Instagram Reels. Instagram Reels. I just posted on Instagram. Yeah, it's all about living your best life is about respecting yourself too. You have to respect yourself enough to pursue your best life. Most people don't respect themselves enough to pursue what they want. There's a level of respect, love, and trust required to pursue the life that you want, to pursue the magic that you want. Because that's what alignment is about. How much do you love yourself? How much do you respect yourself? What do you want to know about yourself? Because once you get the money, the life that you want, it's about being the person that can freely express themselves. Because that's who gave you the life you want. You're not getting the life you want because you're not the person you want to be. You're not getting the life you want because you don't want to be the person that you want to be. That's the equation. That's who controls your finances. That's who controls your finances. That's who controls your opportunities that come. The person you are. It's called income. Income. Finances is look, money is spiritual. Money is spiritual. Listen, the money may be listen, the money may be fake. The money may be fake. The money may be fake, but how you get the money is still spiritual. How you get the bag is still spiritual. Because at the end of the day, Earth still runs on spiritual principles. Manifestation still runs on spiritual principles, regardless of the bullshit happening on Earth. I know it's very easy to forget that. Because you're like, well, I don't get it. Evil people, they get to do what they want. Life doesn't reward settling. Life will never reward settling. So when you wonder why crappy people get boatloads of money and whatnot, that's because they didn't settle in the financial part. Life doesn't reward people that settle in their finances. Dead end jobs, dead end gigs is a sign of settling. That's never rewarded, regardless of you being on the Epstein list or not. I know it sucks, but that's the truth. That's how the so-called evil people make their bands. Those people didn't settle in their finances. They didn't settle. Life will never reward settling. Because I used to do the same shit. Why do those evil people, why do they get what they want? Because my ass is settling. They're not settling. Epstein isn't settling. Not Netanyahu, whatever the fuck, they're not settling. Evil people don't settle. It's not about having a conscience about doing evil. It's do you settle in your own life or not? Evil people don't settle. That's why they got millions and you don't. Most people choose to settle in their lives and then wonder why they're getting the outcome they're getting. Yeah, that's the chain from Yu-Gi-Oh! This is the chain from Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm talking about manifestation and magic. That's what I'm talking. Manifestation and magic, and how to fit the equation to getting your best life. Living your best life is magic.
how to unlock the doors to getting what you want without having to struggle and stress for it. The universe doesn't relate to struggle and stress. Because I tried that method. It didn't work. Struggle and stress will not help you be viral. Consistency and alignment is what gets you what you want. Because I've struggled and stressed and it didn't work. The universe doesn't align with struggle and stress. That's why the culture worships struggle. It doesn't align with the universe. Never look the worst thing you could do when you're trying to manifest is saying, if I just work hard enough, no. You have to be consistent and work smarter. Consistent, work smarter. Consistent, work smarter. Align, work smarter. Align, work smarter. You don't do it by hustle, bustle. Nope. Because you go against the flow. That's how someone can leap. That's how someone could walk into an opportunity versus the other person that feels like they have to leap to get to it. You're not supposed to struggle. It's not supposed to be Super Saiyan Kamehameha energy to manifest. Get rid of the blockage and it'll manifest itself. Because what distractions is holding you back? When it comes to shadow boxing, what distractions? Because the shadow will send distractions. The shadows will send distractions to stay in your dimension. The shadow will send people to stay in your dimension. I'll give you an example on how your shadow will send the wrong people to destroy you. Your shadow, let's say your shadow wants is that okay? Let's say you're starting to question your shadow, and your shadow starts suggesting, oh, why don't you look for a date? Or there's an opportunity for a date, and it says, why don't you go on it? Your intuition can tell you stop looking for dates, but your shadow saying go on a date, see what happens, because you haven't learned yet your lesson from this part of your life. So the shadow stays. And you go, well, let me try the date. And the whole time the shadow is simply using this person through this idea to destroy you. Because now you're saying you're going to go on a date. The next thing you know, you're like, well, I'm feeling the person. Well, let me see if I could go on the mattress with them. And the next thing you know, your chakras is fucked up. Because your shadow will literally tell you, oh, go on a date with this person. Oh, go hang out with this person. That all to keep you distracted from the shadow that doesn't want to leave your dimension. Whenever you hear stupid ideas in your mind, that's your shadow telling you to go do it, so it could stay in your dimension. That's why I wanted you to date this person. That's why I wanted you to stay in this situation. All this shit started with an idea. Oh, go hang out with that person. That started out as an idea, and then that person manifested. That's where the shadow starts. When it comes to shadow boxing, it's all about these stupid ideas coming from you. And you have to discern, is this my idea or is this coming from another place? Because your authentic self is always dropping ideas, but this shadow is also putting ideas. And the reason why this shadow is able to drop ideas in your head is because that's your history. That was the old way of you living. And that old way of living doesn't go away until you question all aspects of it. Well, why do I want to go on dates? Well, why do I want to stay on a JOB? Well, why don't I want to pursue my dreams? All this blockage is the shadow. Because remember, when you block your greatness, a demonic entity takes root in your chakra. And demons don't want to leave. Because remember, the demon's job is to feast on the host. Anything that blocks your happiness, blocks you from your greatness, that's a demon. The demon doesn't want you to be great, because then the demon has to flee. Getting rid of demons means getting rid of frequencies that don't align with you. Alignment cleanses you of these demonic entities. That's how you get rid of demons, by getting into alignment. A demon doesn't work by flinging swords and guns. To get rid of a demon, you have to question the demon itself. You have to question its ideals, its views. Because remember, who you are right now is in tune to a demon. That's why you're not attuned to your higher self. Who you are right now is attuned to a demon. And that demon is sending you bullshit from your history, telling you go meet this person, meet that person, believe in this shit, believe in that shit, don't believe in yourself, be negative, do this, do that. Demons are clever. Y'all gotta understand something. Demons are clever on how they'll hide in your energy. They're clever. Demons will throw distractions at you because demons always start with ideas, and then you live out those ideas and you don't even realize that a demon's possessing you. That's how you get on crack. A demon says, go try that crack, go try this. And it feeds the demon so that it can latch onto you and use you as a host. That's why most people is not happy, because they don't know that demons are upon them, using them as a host. Demons need hosts to exist. Demons need hosts to exist. Demons are most definitely real. Look at this world. This world is chaotic because it's ran by demons. People are not happy because demons are pervading their own lives and don't even know it. Any form of depression, struggle, dustiness, that's a demon. That's a demonic entity. Demonic entities look for hosts. Demons want hosts. Demons can't do what they can do without a host. They need a host. And it starts with doubt, low self-esteem, no self-respect. That's where demons start. And then from there, it snowballs down to situationships, crappy jobs, crappy lives. Remember, your lifestyle didn't start overnight. It started with doubt, started with fear, started with low self-esteem, and then it elevated to, then it lowered even further to I'm gonna fit in, and then lowered to, well, why don't I love me? Why doesn't he love me? Like, the demon will have you begging someone else for love and affection, and you won't even know it. A demon will have you begging another human for love, and you don't even know it. It's all spiritual. There's a reason why the world is chaotic. It's the world is controlled by demons. So what are you gonna do? Negativity, the base form of demonic energy is negative energy, negative vibes. That's why I said the chaos. This helps me keep the chaos of the world outside of my home. I don't want that negativity. I don't want it. Leave it outside. Take your negative asses out there. I don't want it. So, yeah. That's how it be. That's what I said, though. You got to be careful what's hiding behind people. There could be a whole demon hiding in that person, and you don't even know it. When you roll in that mattress with someone, you don't know what entities they're hiding. You don't know what spirits is in them. You always taking a risk. Stop taking the risk. With each person you choose to invite into your energy, especially in the mattress, you are taking a risk. Because they could have whole demons and you don't even know it. That's why relationships are stressful, because you taking risks on entities and energies that shouldn't be up in there. They shouldn't be there, but you're inviting them there for a reason. And what you don't realize is the demon in you is telling you to invite these strange energies into yours. So just more demons pop up, more blockage pops up, and you're stuck wondering, why is my situation the way it is? Why is my situation the way it is? Why am I not manifesting? Why does my vibration feel off? Why am I not feeling my magic? You're not feeling your magic because it's been tainted. Your magic has been tainted by strange entities, strange beings that don't need to be up in your vibration. Tell the motherfuckers they gotta go. They're not gonna go until you decide to let them go. That's why you have to let go of your history. When it comes to being a magic, when it comes to being a magician, you gotta let go of your history. Your history didn't work for you for a reason. That's why it's a history. Press delete. Put it in the trash can. Get rid of those family members. Stop feeling like you're obligated to people that you don't connect with. Stop trying to force shit for history. Your history will kill you. Your history will literally kill you. But we had all these years together and we were connected. That's human thinking. The human don't give a fuck about you. Listen, the human in you don't give a fuck about you manifesting. It don't give a fuck about you aligning with your chakras. That's why you can't think human. When it comes to manifestation, you're not thinking human. You're thinking you're thinking as a magician, you're thinking as a wizard. The human mindset doesn't give a fuck about peace, oneness, manifestation, living your best life. The human in you don't give a fuck about none of that. The human in you thinks about eating, shitting, and sleeping. Nothing about your existence. It don't think about none of those things. That's why you can't think human. You have to think as a magician, as a wizard. You want to solve your existential problems, stop thinking human. That's why you're lost. The human in you don't give a fuck about your existence. Don't give a fuck about you healing. Eat, shit, sleep, survive. You can't be emotionally stable and you just surviving. There's no happiness in that. That's why you're confused. Why isn't surviving enough? Because you're not the human body. Why isn't surviving enough? Because you're more than a human. Why isn't surviving enough? Your energy doesn't think on survival mode. Your energy does not operate on survival mode. That's your human body. Your energy doesn't operate on survival mode. Your chakras don't operate on survival mode. That's your human body. And you have to ask yourself, what do I identify with? My chakras or my human body? Who do you identify with? Your energy or your body? You have to ask yourself that question every day. What am I identifying with? My chakras, my energy, or my body? I don't identify with my body. When you overeat, you oversex, you rely on dopamine and all that, that's you using your body, your dopamine highs, to make up for the lack of high you're getting from your chakras. Because your chakras give you a completely different high. Your chakras give you a completely different energetic high than your body. Your chakras give you a completely different. Your chakras give you an energetic high that is not of this earth. I'm gonna be real with you. Your chakras give you an energetic high that's not of this earth. And to get that energetic high, you have to get rid of your earthly stressors, your earthly perceptions of stress, your earthly perceptions of living, because that's what's stressing you out. You wasn't thinking about stress until you came to this planet. You wasn't stressed until you came to this planet. That childhood spark is simply the spark you had before you allowed Earth to take over your energy. I'm telling you, you are stressed and have anxiety because you have allowed Earth to take over your life. And your chakras want you to take that back. That childhood spark wasn't that you think about, wasn't thinking about bills, wasn't stressing about a lover, wasn't stressing about some shit that the adults think about. That's why you gotta ask yourself, how much does your spark mean to you? Is there a price on it? I need that spark. I can't exist without my spark. I can't exist without my spark. You can try, but that's what lands people on drugs. That's what lands people in bad relationships. That's what lands people in bad gigs. Whenever your chakras aren't aligned, you will inevitably seek out a replacement. And usually this replacement is dopamine. But the problem is dopamine is a cheap fix. Dopamine is also a fleeting feeling. You get a quick rush, and as you get that rush, it comes down. Because the thing with dopamine is that dopamine is a temporary like high you get, and um, because most of us don't understand that, we'll seek that dopamine fix, not realizing that that dopamine fix is actually costing us. Because when you're dependent on dopamine fixes to deal with your energetic imbalances, that's when addictions are created. That's when friction is created. That's when bad decisions are created because you're not getting what you want, and you believe that the dopamine is a replacement for your chakras. No, it isn't. It's temporary for a reason. Your chakras have the ability to sustain themselves. Dopamine is not sustainable. Dopamine spikes is not sustainable. Dopamine spikes is not sustainable. When you eat some good ass food, dopamine. When you have some good ass sex, dopamine. When you have hope for physical activity, dopamine. Physical exercise, dopamine. It's temporary, fleeting feelings. When we describe fleeting feelings, we're actually describing the effects of dopamine. It's a science. The dopamine is released through your nervous system. You feel the effects of your five senses through your nervous system. That's how you become drug addicted because you're dependent on stimulating the nervous system to deal with the pain in your chakras. Because your chakras have the ability to sustain themselves, to give you all the happy juices you need. But you have to decide, um, do I uh, do I want to change how I vibrate? Because depending on dopamine is a vibration. It's a science, bro. It's a science. It's a spiritual science. When it comes to dealing with what makes you happy, what works and what doesn't work, that's a whole spiritual science, bro. It's a spiritual science. That's how you got to study yourself. Being a wizard is a science. Being a wizard is a science. That's how you figure out. That's part of how you figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what the shadow does and what the shadow doesn't. Because your shadow depends on you craving dopamine fixes. Because it's your shadow operates on short-term fixes. Your energies rely on long-term solutions. Your shadow depends on short-term fixes that avoid the problem. Whenever you seek short-term fixes, it's because you don't want to deal with the problem directly. Whenever you seek short-term fixes, it's because you don't want to go through the pain of change. Change doesn't come until you look at the short term. Change doesn't come until you deal with the long-term effects of what you're doing. It's a science. That's why you gotta study the body, study the energy, and that's how you start understanding yourself on how you operate. You gotta ask yourself, do you operate on dopamine or do you operate on your chakras? Because when you're operating on dopamine, that means there's imbalances in your chakras that you're not dealing with. A dopamine spike, I said, is, let's say, lots of food, uh, let's see, lots of drugs, lots of drinking, lots of sex.
And the way you figure out if it is one of those things is asking yourself, well, why am I seeking this? Why am I seeking this sex? Why am I seeking all this food? Why do I want to listen to music 24/24? The doom scrolling, it's a psychology. Why am I doing it? That's how you figure out whether I'm chasing dopamine highs or not. Or why am I doing it? Why am I on the phone all the time? That's the only way you find out what the dopamine spikes are about. Bro, what is this? This is my palace. This is my pyramid. It's my way. It's where I find solace and peace and the magic. The magic is there, bro. The magic is there. So yeah, no, it's a science. And it starts with asking yourself, what am I craving from this activity? Because you're doing it for a reason. Everything you do it for a reason. Everything. Down to why you smell shit. There's a reason. Or do you want to look at the reasons? There's a reason why you entered that relationship. Do you want to know the reasons? Or you want to keep it quiet? Because when you find out the reasons for why you did that, then the next step is, do I want to stay? Should I change it? Everyone operates on a reason. You don't want that. That's why most people don't reach the change because they don't want to hear the answer on why they're doing what they're doing. You don't want to know why you're going to that job. You don't want to know why you're going on these dates. You don't want to know why you drink all the time. You don't want to know that. Then you got to deal with it directly. You don't want to know why you show up to family functions knowing you're only there for the food. You don't want to know if you got beef with your parents. Do you really want to know? Going to a therapist is simply when you go into a therapist, the you the point of therapy is basically to get is basically getting the therapist to ask you questions that you're afraid to ask yourself. Because the therapist can't give you the answers. The therapist is simply asking questions that you're scared to ask yourself. Because then you're going to hear the answers from yourself. And most likely you're not going to like the answer. That's how you shadow box. You ask the questions you're afraid of asking yourself to get the answers that you are scared of receiving from yourself. When you don't like a situation, you question it. And when you ask yourself, well, why don't I like the situation? Why don't I like it? You get the answer from yourself. Well, I don't like this situation because ABC. And then the next step is, well, do I want to leave the situation and change or stay in it? The Illuminati understands this. The Illuminati, see, when it comes to manifestation, you understand why you're trying to manifest. When it comes to manifestation, you know you got to do rituals to make it happen. The Illuminati understands this. There's reasons. There's magic behind it. That's why songs have magic. That's why songs have messages. A song could put you in a trance and have you think and do some shit. So you got to be careful what you listen to. A song will put you in a trance and have you think and do shit. You're inhaling frequencies. You're inhaling frequencies. That's how we put. When you've heard some of the Illuminati stuff, where like you put extra verses in the background of a song, and backwards and all that shit, it's to send messages. Because the messages inside of you determine what you'll do, and if you're not privy to those messages, you'll be possessed. You'll be possessed. You got messages. Listen, messages decide whether you eat cereal or Corn puffs. Messages decide whether you're gonna crack your main bitch today or your side hoe. Messages decide, do you want to get a divorce or commit family side and off everybody? What messages are you sent? What messages are you listening to? When you're not aware of the messages in your own system, then you just do shit just to do shit. You rely on impulse because you don't know what the fuck your operating system. You don't know what's in your operating system. You gonna do whatever. You just be like, I'll do what I do with it. With me, boo. That's how humans do stupid shit because they don't know what's going on in their operating system. The ego. Yeah, that ego's a whole demon. Egos are demons. Egos are demons. Egos are demons. The ego is the version of you that's dependent on the physical body to exist. Your ego is really the version of you that's dependent on dopamine to exist. You haven't learned to identify with your chakras. You haven't learned to identify with alignment. So you naturally will gravitate towards chaos. When you don't know how to align with yourself, you're going to see chaos because it's either alignment or chaos. What better option? What's the alternative to alignment? Let me know. You either align with yourself or you're not. You're not in alignment. You're in chaos. A spiritual talk on dynamic chakras. That's what's up, AI Summary. The AI Summary knows what's up. Chakras, dopamine, shadow self. The shadow self is science, bro. There's a science behind the shadow. The shadow is thoughts. The shadow is a demon. The shadow depends on dopamine. This is where your body comes into play. It's biology. Your shadow depends on your nervous system to stay in you because your shadow will redirect the questions you have about the pain you feel towards your dopamine and say, well, go smoke this out real quick. Go on this other date. Go take a nut. Go take this to avoid the questions. Because once you get yourself in a place where you don't need the dopamine, the shadow becomes weakened. Once you get to a place with yourself where you don't need dopamine, you'll stop overeating, you'll stop oversexing, you'll stop what was it? You'll stop bad habits that aren't working for you because you believe this bad habit was gonna fill the void in your life. When you addictions and all that, that is simply addictions to dopamine, various forms of dopamine. Dopamine comes in various forms. Food, it could come in the form of drugs, it could come in the form of codependency. Dopamine is more vast than you think it is. It's a science. That's why I say, yo, these aliens that run Earth, these aliens, they got it sewed up. These aliens got it sewed up. These aliens got it sewed up. Because happiness is a science. I couldn't believe that happiness was a science. I was shocked. There's a science behind happiness. Happiness is a science. The wizard understands this. The magician understands this. The magician understands this. Aliens versus Aryans. Yeah, aliens don't think like humans for a reason. Aliens understand stuff that humans don't. That's why you got to be an alien. When you're a wizard, you're on your way to being an alien. When you manifest, predict visions before they happen, you're thinking like an alien. To see a vision before it manifests in the physical, that's literally alien. Listening to your inner voice, that's alien. Your inner voice, that's magic. So do you
go to your father's house. And what am I gonna do? What are my parents gonna do for me?
What mental illness is this? Well, I mean, I have been diagnosed with multiple psychosis and schizophrenia. So, what are you gonna do? Yeah, part of an alien too. You have to recognize something. When you choose greatness, don't be shocked when you're vilified by the world. The world doesn't value greatness. The world does not value greatness. The world values struggle, being fake, and being angry. So don't be surprised when you choose greatness that the world starts hating you. Because the world always hated you. We understand the world is a negative place. There's no need to seek validation from the world. The world is a negative place. Why would you want validation from negativity? I don't want validation from other people. That's negativity. Whatever anytime you seek validation from other people, it's because you don't think you're enough. Whenever you choose to be fake, it's because you don't think you're enough. Because who you're being fake for? For other people. Because if you see yourself, there's no reason to be fake for yourself. For what? There's no reason to fit in. This is why this shit clings to you from fucking high school. In my opinion, most of us, we try to fit in high school. You're in 8 hours, spending 8 hours in a smelly ass building with people you don't want to be around, in a place you don't want to be at. Sooner or later, you're going to use these fake friends to cope. And that's how you learn to pick up. That's how you pick up on fitting in. That's how you pick up on depending on other people because you're trying to block out what you're doing. You don't want to be in a smelly ass building for 8 hours with people you know you're not going to see again once you put your graduation cap and gown on. You have to come to that realization. When you don't come to that realization, you're more likely to start trying to fit in your 20s and 30s and not even realize it. Not even realize it. Begging for a community. Bitch, you are the community. Stop begging for community. You're the community. Living your best life is about living your best life, not with anyone else. Living your best life is about living your best life. This didn't include anyone else. Why are you trying to include other motherfuckers in this shit? Why are you trying to include other motherfuckers in this? The universe it doesn't include other motherfuckers. The universe is you. The universe doesn't require all these other people. The universe doesn't require your mom. The universe doesn't require your dad. The universe doesn't require your boyfriend. The universe doesn't require your bestie of 10 years. Why are you trying to put these people here? Get them the fuck off the table. Get them the fuck off the table. The universe is benevolent. You look like that Andre comedian guy on Planet Zervos. Are you in a storage room? No, this is a bathroom. No, this is a bathroom. Imagine. I would like to try the RV life, to be honest with you. I would like to try that. Live in the jungle somewhere. Listen, if I could pull off living in the jungle where I could pick my food and hunt that shit for free, built a mud hut, I would do that. Dead ass. As soon as I figure that out, listen, as soon as I figure that out, I'll start streaming from that shit. From a mud hut, off the grid. I don't wanna constantly fucking pay for this overpriced food. I can't like listen, McDonald's is expensive now. McDonald's is charging restaurant money. How the fuck one fish sandwich like $7? Like what? There's no more dollar. I thought the whole purpose of fast food was a cheap menu. There's not even a dollar menu anymore. What happened to the dollar menu? That don't even exist no more, bro.
The dollar menu don't even exist no more. Like $7 for a filet o fish sandwich. Like, get the fuck up out of here. That's ridiculous. The dollar menu don't even exist. Hold on, let me get some. My phone. The dollar menu don't exist. I went to fucking McDonald's today. I was tight. The dollar menu don't even exist no more. Like McDonald's is charging restaurant money. I'm like, bro, I might as well just show up to Chick-fil-A at this point. Charging me $7 for a fish fillet sandwich. What the hell's wrong with you? Yeah, McDonald's is luxury now, bro. For 2 items, bro. For 2 items, I spent $11 on 2 items. On the what was it? It was I bought a McCrispy chicken wrap and a Red Bull Dragonberry drink. For 2 items, it was $11. I was like, what kind of bullshit is this? What happened to the dollar menu? I gotta look. Hold on, let me look this up. What the fuck happened to the dollar menu? What happened to that, bro? These McDonald's prices ain't it. Even McDonald's is out of control. Let me see. You look like that Andre comedian guy on Planet Zervos. Let me see who this Andre first is. Andre Planet Zervos. Like, I see why motherfuckers is struggling. I see why we struggling. Bro, McDonald's is charging restaurant money. Like, I can't even, like, the last few fast food joints I've been to, they were all, I found myself spending at least like $6 to $10. I was like, fast food ain't even fast food no more. What kind of bullshit is this? Fast food ain't even fast food no more. Everyone's charging whole food prices. Like, fuck that shit. I've been mostly thinking about eating at Whole Foods at this point. I used to get, if I wanted a cheap bite, I used to get the dollar menu off McDonald's. I can't even do that no more. Oh, let's see, dollar menu McDonald's. I can't even go to Wendy's. I can't do fast food anymore. It's too expensive. I'm like, this shit's too expensive. I might as well just go to fucking Whole Foods at that point. I might as well go to a restaurant at that point. I shouldn't be spending double-digit figures at McDonald's. I remember McDonald's was dollar menu. What the fuck happened to that? When did it become the $10 menu? Oh, they renamed it the McValue menu. That's bullshit. It was a dollar menu. I remember it was a dollar menu. These motherfuckers think they slick renaming shit. This is why this planet is the way it is, renaming shit. The McValue. No, bitch, it was dollar menu. Not McValue menu, not the cheaper menu. It was dollar menu. Do you see how they move in the goalposts? Oh, we're gonna call it the McValue. It's the McValue now. Like, bitch, that ain't no value. The value was $1, ho. Oh, let's see. McDonald's classic $1 menu no longer exists and has been replaced by the McValue menu, which features items priced at $3 or less. When the fuck did they get rid of it? Hold on. Bro, that dollar menu, bro, I remember you used to get hella shit. When around 2013. Okay, McDonald's phased out its original strict $1 menu around 2013 replacing it with the higher price dollar menu and more. These bums. See, this is why this planet is ghetto as hell. This planet is ghetto as hell. This is what happens when you isolate too long. Isolation is good. Isolation is where you find yourself. Isolation is the key to tapping into other dimensions. The more you isolate in yourself, the more attuned you become to yourself, and the more likely you start hearing other realms. Because the other realms exist in you. The other realms are always trying to talk to you, but you're distracted by the people, places, and things around you. The more you isolate, the more you separate from Earth, and you start coming into oneness and other places to be. So I recommend isolation isn't easy, but I recommend it. If you want to talk to ghost spirits and whatnot, isolate. Because when you isolate yourself, the only person left is yourself. When you cut out all the fat and unnecessary lard that you thought you needed in your life, the only person left is you. Period. No one else. People, places, and things, they're distractions. You don't need people, places, and things. You are the universe. What's another human to you compared to the universe? We're all meant to be weird in our own way. We're all meant to come into our own way, period. So, do you want to come into your own lane? Do you want to come into your own lane? Do you want to be your weird self? Or do you want to try to fit in? You want to get into your own lane? Do you want to go into your own lane? Or fit in? You got two options, but you can't do both. Don't let the ego fool you. Oh, you can do both with me, boo. No, you can't. It's one or the other. That's how life works. Choices in life. It's either this one or that one. You're either happy or you're not. You're either aligned or you're not. You're either in the other realms or you're still stuck in this realm. You don't need this realm. Your ego needs you to stay here. Your ego needs you to stay here. Your ego needs to stay here. Your ego wants you to be stagnant. Your ego wants you to chase situationships. You don't need all these people in your life. They're not paying your bills. They're not paying your bills. Why are they there? They're not paying your bills. Why are they there? Damn, that sounds cold world. What do you mean? What do you mean? They're not there. They're not supposed to be there. Why are you keeping them there? There's no reason to have them there. There's no reason to have them there. Why are they there? They're not benefiting your life. They're not easing your struggle. What the fuck are they there for? Well, I'm in the mood. They're not alleviating your struggle. What the fuck is they doing in your life? Let me know. I don't keep anything in my life that isn't alleviating struggle. I want easier life. I don't want more struggle. Dealing with myself, I'm already dealing with myself for free. Why the fuck would I want to deal with your problems for free? Bitch, you better pay me. People come with baggage, bro. People come with baggage, problems. You don't need that. Listen, we ain't talking business, then we don't need to talk. Money's the only language. Money's the only language. But what about the connection? Bitch, I connect with myself. And now you're gonna connect me with some money or nah? Are you gonna connect me with some moolah or nah? You gotta get straight to on your business. But the connection, no. Connect me to some fucking dollars, and then we can talk about some damn connections. Connect me to some damn dollars. I I'm not gonna seek this. I'm connected with myself, but you should connect me to dollars or not. What is we doing here? What are we doing here? That's how you gotta treat your family. Your family ain't connecting you to some damn dollars. You don't need to be up in there for the Christmas and the holidays. For what? Listen, when you only showing up to family gatherings to get the food, then you don't need to be up in there no more. You don't need to be up in there. I don't show up to family gatherings. I was like, I'm only there for the food. There's no point. I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. I miss my family, but like, there's no point. There was no point. It's not an alignment. I'm only there for obligation. I'm only there because I thought blood was thicker than water. And the whole time I'm drowning in some poo poo water. That's why more people are cutting off their families. Because the younger generations are realizing I don't have to keep you in my life. I don't have to put up with this. I don't have to. You don't have to do it. That's how you break the code. I don't have to do this. My ego's telling me I have to do it. I don't have to do it. Stop listening to your ego. Ego. The ego's insecure. The ego needs you to cling to anything outside of yourself to exist. That's why you're doing shit for obligation. You're doing shit for your babe, no shit for yourself. It's sinking in some shit. Ego boo. Ego boo. Ego boo. That ego. Ego. That's the tune to my ego. This shit happens when you isolate too long. I already read that one. What are you gonna do, bro? Ego. Ego. I'm pretty good when I hit the chat. Damn, I need some kush right now, bro. Your ego, your ego puts you in an interesting place. That is the place. Ego. The ego is dumb dumb in the tum tum. The ego will have you looking for uh, attention from people you don't even want to fuck. That's how I ended up in bed with people I didn't want. My ego wanted attention from people I didn't even want to fuck because I didn't believe that I was enough. The ego will have you settling for some shit and you don't even want it. The ego is what you do when you settle for shit. When you settling for shit, you go to that damn ego. That ego's telling you go up to the job, go impress mom and dad, go be insecure, don't be great, don't seek oneness, don't seek what you want. Like that ego. Bruh. They should make storage rooms available. They should make storage rooms available. In my opinion, storage rooms should be available for housing. They're way cheaper. Even this apartment is overpriced. Listen, humans, humans ain't it. Humans ain't it. In my opinion, humans ain't it. They just it, that's if humans weren't if humans weren't serving evil entities, we would still have the dollar menu. We would still have the dollar menu. If humans wasn't serving evil entities, man, everything would be like 50 cents or some shit. Like back in the dizzle. There'd be no pettiness. I'm telling you, humans, yeah, that's what I say. Every person you choose to invite into your life, you taking a chance on that. That's on you. That's on you if you choose to do that. People are risks. Do you want to take the chance on that risk? Are you sure that's what you need? I'm like a bird, I love the way you wave. I don't know where my home is. I don't know where to blah blah. I like this. I think I'm mastering this streaming thing. I got YouTube live going on. I got TikTok live going on. I got Twitch going on right now. Like I like this. Alright, I'm gonna sit with it. I'm gonna play some music. I need to chill. Smoking some. Oh, warm bamboo. Legendary in these streets. Yeah. Come outside. We're not gonna touch you. Come outside. We can work. Bitch, come outside. Bitch. Come on, bitch. Bitch. Come outside. We gonna touch you. Bitch. Fight too. Yeah. He dirty. Smell like poop. We not gonna touch you. Bitch. Oh, let me check that. Damn, that's a lot. What? For 1 hour. New benefit. Get up to. Alright, dude, look at this one.
Bro, give me all the rewards, bro. Let's see, 50% off coupon. Let me use that real quick. Let's see.
Can I write that down? No. Right. Because I just said women deserve more. You agreed, right? Okay, don't quote me. No, put the book down. Have you ever been in a music video? Oh my god.
Damn. Do you know you weren't supposed to choose me? Let me see, how much is that? Oh, that's not enough. That's nothing. I can do that on my own. Are you serious? Bro.
I don't even like the promo options for live. Damn. That's what they're doing. Yeah. Wow, these promotions ain't no joke. Bro, they need to make these promotional ad options cheaper. I didn't know, this must be new that they offer promotions for promoting your live streams.
Oh, I'm curious. Hold on. How many people? What? Nah, that's a ripoff. Are you kidding me? No.
That's not a benefit. That's you tripping. I don't do that. Yeah. Chilling right now. Doing these lives. Let me see this.
AI viewers, twitchmax.com. That's funny. What are you gonna do with AI viewers? I want real viewers. I don't want AI viewers. That don't make no sense. That's not gonna do anything for me. It's not gonna do nothing for me. I need actual viewers. Shit. I can use some AI music videos that I could use. Some anime and shit. Let's see. I want to check out my stuff out of curiosity. Oh yeah, I'm going to. Let's see. It's 1:15. I'm a little drunk and I need you now. Quamble bumble boo, wham bam boo boo, and I need you now. Let's see what's going on, bro. You mans. Hell yeah, I need some followers. The fuck, bro.
trying to be famous. TikTok Creator of the Year, y'all. I'm fighting to be TikTok Creator of the Year. So they catch me outside where I'm supposed to be, shining. I'm shining, bro. I'm the diamond in the rough, the star. I'm the star. Oh, oh, I'm a boss. I'm a boss. Let's see. Damn, I should have been on this grind a long time ago. Yeah, get in advance. Let's see. Yeah, it takes money to make money. Unless you got sugar daddy, or you on like serious grind, it takes money to make money. Especially when you're promoting your content, it takes money to make money. What are you gonna do? That's the cash 22 too with this shit. So you gotta be a you gotta be a magician. When it comes to manifesting, that's what you gotta tap into your magic. There's a lot of cash 22s, and it's very easy to be discouraged when you look at that cash 22. So be mindful of what you invite into your life. You may want it, what you're sending out isn't getting it where it needs to be. So what are you gonna do? Shit. I might live stream myself fucking falling asleep. I know Twitch you can do longer live streams. TikTok requires you like, your face to be up in the camera and shit. But like I dead ass may just like keep my camera off. Y'all can watch me fall asleep and shit. So we gonna see. I like this live stream stuff. I don't have to. Uh, I don't have to do much. I don't have to think as much. It's not complicated. You say the same shit day in, day out. Maybe do a few fun antics here and there, real quick. You know what I'm saying? Shit, actually, I might hit the blunts. We already talking to each other live streaming and shit. I'm gonna just take like a small hit of the blunt. Let's see what's up. Yeah, shout out to the one person watching me on Twitch. Shout out to y'all. So, I'm determined to make it big. I got Spotify, I got Instagram, I got all that stuff out there. So hold on, actually, I'm gonna hold on. I may discover something. I'm curious. Let me see. Promoting on Twitch. Hold on. Promoting on Twitch. An exclusive partner for promoting your Twitch channel requires using external social media platforms to boost the stream. A community feature where viewers pool channel points to promote a live stream to high visibility areas on the platform. Let's see. Oh yeah, it feels good. Uh, let's see. I don't give a shit. Listen. When you're on these websites and they give you an offer to promote your channel, I say do it. Pay the money. You gotta bribe. Listen, sometimes you gotta bribe the platform to get to that front page, bro. Sometimes you have to bribe that platform to get to the front page. Play the game until uh, they let you in. Damn, bro. Yeah, I should have done this a long time ago. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, pay up the bucks. Sometimes you gotta pay up. Listen, one of the ways to get around this algorithm shit is paying up that moolah. Because if you not that man, this algorithm shit, it'll get discouraging. I ain't even gonna hold you on that. See, when you got the moolah, you can skip to the front of the line um, and do what they do. So, take money to make money. What are you gonna do? That's how it be cut. I'm still the king of this internet shit, though. I'm the king of the internet. I'm the king of my domain. I control what's going on. I'm the King Kong of this. I'm the King Kong of this. No one's gonna. Hold on, let me end this stream.